the fact that we've seen him around and he traveled with the team and he looks clear-eyed, and his minimum stay requirement on IR ends after the Dolphins take on the Colts. I think there's a general sense amongst the fans of the NFL that Tua is just going to come right back in and be there for the Miami Dolphins in their next game after this one, at home against Arizona. Is that accurate?
We don't have total clarity yet. I believe he still has to get cleared by the independent neurologist, which really shouldn't, I don't anticipate being an issue because he's gone and seen all these experts around the country. And nobody to this point has told him you can't or shouldn't play football. You know, I think I understand why people have the visceral reaction to the idea of Tua Tagovailoa playing football, because, you know, it's not just that he's had multiple concussions. It's that he's suffered two of the scariest, most, you know, those types of moments that are seared in your brain for all the people watching at home. You know, the way that everybody's body reacts differently to concussions. You see the fencing posture, which is something that Tua has exhibited. That doesn't necessarily mean that his concussion is worse. It definitely, though, is worse to look at. For Tua, though, you know, these are decisions that he and his family and his doctors and his representatives have to make. Everything that Tua has done has suggested that he does intend to play again. You know, how quickly is he playing at a Tua type level? What happens if, God forbid, he suffers another concussion this season? I mean, those are all things that are part of the conversation. I mean, if he suffers another concussion this season, in all likelihood, we're not going to see him again in 2024. You run that risk on every single play that you're out there as a quarterback. And, you know, I think Mike McDaniel probably doesn't get enough credit for the type of game he's called. I mean, think about this, Rich, as a play caller, and you've got to come up with schemes and you've got to develop an offense that, yes, you know, Tua has a quick release and he processes fast and all that. But you've basically got to put together game plans each week that account for, hey, we got to minimize how many times this guy hits. This guy can't get hit. We can't have a scenario where there's a free rusher and he just, you know, sucks it up and gets hit in the chest and might hit his head on the ground. And so the play that he gets hurt on is Tua trying to do a little bit too much. He's got the first down. For some reason, instead of just going down, sliding, whatever, he tries to lower his shoulder into somebody and his head hits into DeMar Hamlin's chest or bicep, whatever it was, and he gets his neck bent awkwardly and, you know, the lights go out on him. I mean, that's something that obviously he knows intellectually you shouldn't do, but at some point the football player takes over. You know, it's just – It's how it's going to be, honestly, Rich, for the rest of Tua's career. And I think that we all hope that he has a long and healthy career for as long as he wants to have it. But you're always going to have that risk that exists that he could suffer another concussion and we'll be right down, you know, in this cycle again. But the last time we went through this was back in 2022. It was the same word from doctors, which is, listen, you're at no more risk for a concussion than anybody else who's playing professional football here. You've got to make the decisions. At that time, he made the decision to come back. He played all of 2023 and the first chunk of 2024 without an issue. Now we're back in this spot. Maybe it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, and he's concussion free, and we stop thinking about it. But it's always got to be in the back of Tua's head. It's always got to be in the back of Mike McDaniel's head once he gets back onto the field. And again, we'll see how quickly all those other things come back to him. But what we've seen from Tua is he is resilient. He is a tough dude. There's only so much you can push yourself through when you're dealing with a brain injury. And I think that, you know, when he gets back onto the field, everybody's just going to be rooting for, you know, this guy to stay healthy, because when he's on the field, it's pretty fun to watch.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.